know if what I have done in the past worked, and what are the things that I need to continue doing, what are the things that I need to stop doing. For me, I realize that many times over the years, I've attended quite a number of vision casting, goal setting events over time, both paid and unpaid. One thing that I have come to realize over time is that sometimes not even really about sorry. All right. I was saying that many times one thing I've come to realize is that we do not even need to repeat certain things. And what I mean, um, one of the things that we want to ensure is that um, the the so that means that's about setting up new goals. It's not really about bringing up new ideas, right? How about the previous ideas? How about the previous goal that you set? Were you able to achieve them? If you were not able to achieve them, the next year should not be about adding more. It should be about assessing and then strategizing to help you achieve the backlog that you did not achieve. And if you now then do the assessment of the backlogs that you have, if the projected result is good enough for you in the overall scheme of where you are going to as an individual first, because I would always say to people that when it comes to vision casting and goal setting, it's not just about your business, because your business is a fraction of who you are. Although, if you look at the percentage of what your business consumes as regards who you are, many times it's usually like 40 to 50%, depending on how immersed or on how consumed you might be when it comes to ensuring that you achieve something, or that you ensure that everything that you need to achieve a thing is available. But pretty much the most important thing is you as a person. What are the things that defines for you purpose? What are the things that defines for you fulfillment? How do you come to a point where you feel like even if everything fails, this particular thing about me, right, is the most important and is what I would hold on to. Do you understand? So for me, that is one thing that I really love to say about vision casting, goal setting, and all that. Yes, of course, your business is good, but do not neglect the most important or other areas of your life, your spiritual life, your career development, your relationships, your contribution to your local communities, your family, um, and then your business, your clients, right? When it comes to your clients, your concerns should not just be revenue, sales, revenue, sales. How about what am I going to do to impact on the lives of people? So take for instance, in October, no, yeah, between October and December, after I finished a couple of things, one of the things that inspired me to set up the SME bootcamp was not just the revenue. It was much more than that it was how do I impact on the lives of people, especially the community that I have been part of, that has blessed me or that has contributed to my growth over time. And I'm saying this to say that sometimes the fulfillment that you get in business, I'm telling you, 80% of the time is not in the revenue that you make, is not in the target that you achieved when it comes to the goals. It's much more in the impact that you make on people. There are three things that are very fundamental. It's all about empowerment, it's about impact, it's all about influence. Three things that are important for us as business persons, for us as entrepreneurs: empowerment, knowledge, development. So when I talk about empowerment, I'm talking about the investment that you put into yourself to be more, to know more, to understand more, to be exposed to more. And knowledge is a key factor when it comes to empowerment, right? Even to make money, you need knowledge. It's either you're selling knowledge or you're using knowledge to create an idea that would then further that would then create value. And we know that wherever value is in abundance, money troops to that place. And then it's all about impact. The value you're creating, the knowledge that you have, what type of impact is it communicating? And this then trickles down to the type of business that you now choose to do. It trickles down to the type of career path that you decide to pursue. Impact then trickles down to the type of initiative that you want to be part of. Then when you're talking about influence, that is, what force does this thing that you're doing, what force does it propel? What force does it have on the people that are associated with it? So meaning that you're doing a job as an accountant, or you have a business that is catered to the men, like Express here, or you have a fashion, health and wellness business like Questy, or you're into fashion, clothing, and sales of household stuff like Titi, or you are into fruits and LD living and LD food like Miss Clara, right? Whatever it is that you're doing, the influence is the force of your impact. How do you change the life of people? So for people who are into health and wellness, LD food and all that, are you able to, by your engagement, really draw a roadmap that can trigger that change? So what type of change are you looking for, or what type of change is also influence? So it means that by your marketing engagement, by your events, by your products, by your conversations, are they able to come into that state of awareness where they then feel like, oh, I think I need to change how I am eating. Oh, I think I need to change my lifestyle. So what comes at the top of their mind when they decide to make that decision? That is where influence comes in. So I'm saying this to say that when you find yourself in situations like this, in a meeting like this, in a conference like this, in a training like this, these are the things that should be at the back of your mind, not just revenue. One thing I will promise you is when these areas that I've talked about, empowerment, influence, impact, right? When they are the things that are the focal point of what you're driving at, making revenue, making sales becomes almost like a default thing that happens. Take for instance, this year, my plan was that I was only going to roll out campaigns at the beginning of January, and that by the latter part of January into February, we'll then begin to bring or receive sales. But it's so amazing that I don't know what trickled it. All I can say that it is purely God's handwork. The revenue that has come in for us in January came in. I can't say that this is exactly what triggered these responses, but one thing that I have a sense of, aside from the fact that, yes, for me, one constant thing that I know that we enjoy in virtual domain is God's grace, because that is one thing I will never dispute. Do you understand? Because if you are in business or you are in any endeavor in life, one thing you must know is that there is always a force that is driving what you are doing. So it's not a question of being religious or not. So it is either it is, you know what is your force, because there are many times you do everything, you put in all the strategies, you put in all the resources, you are very tactical, you are all that. At the end of the day, things does not work. And just by a single shift in the acts of one person, or in the heart of someone somewhere that you have not even talked to for a long time, are aware that you are there. And then it opens up gushes of revenue. At that point, you know it is not you. And if you do not acknowledge who it is, because I usually tell people in my training, especially for salespeople, that there is a God factor, or what the people who don't want to allude it to God, they will say there's an X factor in business. That X factor cannot be determined. That X factor cannot be given a definition according to them. But I know what that X factor is, because I have seen it played out in my life and in my business several times. And that is the God factor, right? Because he is the kind that would just want to favor you. And he's the kind of person that loves excellence. He loves it when people are given to service. God loves it when you are given to being helpful and you are compassionate to one another. You are compassionate to another person. You are driven by the inner drive to want to see another person's life be better, right? And this sometimes strikes a chord in him, and also in his sovereignty, he just decides to step in. And for me, one thing I know very strongly in my heart is that for every business that we engage in this 2024, we'll experience a quick turnaround. The same grace that I have enjoyed in my business, you will enjoy it. Much more than that, you will come to understand the exact thing that you need to do. You will experience points and moments of clarity where you just know what to do, and resources will be released to you to do the things that you need to do. Having said that, there's a need for you to also pursue excellence. There's a need for you to ensure that even if I want to do something and they are saying that this thing is, I need to pay something or it will cost me something, don't always run to look for free stuff. Look for ways to negotiate in such a way that you will pay for it in a way. And this is why I'm saying so. The things that you do not sacrifice for, the things that you do not, in a way, shed for, sometimes you do not value them, or sometimes you do not enjoy the juice or the dividends that is inside of it. And this is one secret that I have come to understand. This is not to say that if a thing is said to be free, yes, by all means, leverage on it, but also not take advantage of the fact that because something is free, right, that you would not also put in your best. So when I'm talking about pursuing excellence, it covers both things that are paid for. And for me, one thing I will also say to entrepreneurs is it is not healthy for your mindset to always pursue things that are free. I know what I am saying. I have been in positions where I had zero money in my account, and I knew that I needed to engage somebody that was well advanced in the years within the industry. One thing that my mentor taught to me rather, was that Omotola, when you need something from somebody who has gone ahead of you in the industry, and you know that you might not be able to exchange what they will give you for with money, She said to me, Omotola, always seek for what you can do for them as a volunteer, because there's something about that top of their minds in moments where they never think of. They remember you and they reach out to you first for the things that they might want to do, which will ultimately become for you a revenue that you never planned for. Or maybe they want to talk about people in the industry. You get unsolicited announcements or shout out on platforms. Why? Because you have been given to service. You have been given to volunteering yourself in areas where they needed help. And by default, the human nature, even especially Nigerians, when you do something for us and it contributed immensely to certain results that we were targeting or hoping for, there's this way that our heart opens and we just want to give praise and we just want to say thank you. So these things are what I think for me, if I'm going to be having a vision casting session with you, this is basically the center of what my conversation with you is going to be. Now to the crux of the moment, the elephant in the room. What we want to talk about today is um, something that has to do with vision casting. Let me know in the chat section what I said in the past 20 minutes. Does it make any sense? Please, the things that I said in the comment section, let me know. Or I think I would want to have some feedbacks. So by all means, feel free to unmute yourself. Does it make any sense at all? What the things that I've said, what did it communicate to you? What meaning did it communicate to you? So that I don't just assume, you know, that I like to have feedback. So Esther, please let me know, what did it communicate to you? Because I know that we all hear different ways. The things a person is saying one thing, somebody is hearing it in another way. We are all on this call. I want to hear, what does this communicate to you, please?
Yeah. Can I speak?
Yeah, go on, please.
Okay. At least one major thing I just laid hands on right now leveraging on the impact you give to people, your impact on people that will in turn pay up for you in ways that you do not even expect. I remember you talking about us on the other past trainings, that for instance, now somebody like us at Questing Naturals, one thing we should look at is how to share healthy skincare tips, see how to help people solve their issues, not necessarily even introducing our product to them, but helping them solve the riddles of how to take care of their skin even by themselves. Because even when you use skincare products and you do not know how to take proper care of your skin, the right routines to observe, the right attitudes, the if product may not even be as effective as it should be. So leveraging on educating people, empowering people on the aspect of how to take care of themselves is one thing I have picked right now, which I know we are really, really going to work at. Thank you, ma.
Mr. Michael, if you're here, can we hear from you? I also want to hear from Mrs. Clara after Michael. I think the three of us are want to hear from us. If there's another person that wants to speak, by all means, raise up your hand, then we'll give you the mic.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Good morning, everyone. So, from the chat discussion earlier, I what I get from there is actually the part of you know, it's not like I like free things, so the part of having the mindset of getting something free, can affect you, as a business person, which I totally agree to that. So totally agree to that, but I was not seeing from the perspective of actually it affecting you. But what I know is that it's not really a good thing, but I was not seeing from the perspective of it affecting you. And also the fact that as a business person too, let's see my own nature. I know that giving back is very, very important. I think that's just an addition to your statement. When it comes to giving back in business, the satisfaction and even the hormones it release from your body, somehow the revenue or the profit you make from your business cannot trigger that same emotion. So I totally agree with that. You understand? I agree very well. And one thing that will be a takeaway for me is to be more deliberate in actually people that I know, because from my experience before now, if I know I cannot afford this person, so most time is either like I just let it go or I find a way to afford it. But now knowing the fact that I can easily find a way, to volunteer, do one or two things, you understand, with this person, so that probably in the nearest future, even though it might not even be what I was requesting for, but that shout out, that top of the mind awareness that when they need something and someone can get it done, I think is an insight for me that I can work on in the nearest future. Because I've always tried my best to work with people too. But there are some people, you just can't afford them, and I just let it go that way. But I think with this, it's more it's an encouragement to be more intentional, despite the fact that I cannot afford them, but find a way to volunteer and work for them. Yeah. Aside from that, every other thing you said, I totally concur with them, and I've experienced it in the past too. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Mrs. Clara, so
Hello,
for your
good morning.
business, what does this, I want you to speak to what this means for your business and also what this means for you as an individual.
Hello.
I can hear you. Go on.
Okay. Good morning, man. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Yes. What you said in the last 20 minutes, if I say it makes sense, it's an understatement because it just is pouring up something more than what I really wanted. What I mean by that is that I grew up I have this mindset, always leave a place better than you found it. So I grew up always, when I interact with people, I always try to add value. So when you brought up the issue of adding value, that money goes in where there's impact. When you add value to somebody's life, that person will surely look for you. It just makes me to understand, okay, this is what this is why I have this drive. This is what is really driving this business, to make sure that somebody out there is benefiting from something. What I mean by that is that, okay, take for instance the food and everything. I sit down and think, how can busy mothers, how can nursing mothers, how can invalids or elderly people be helped to make sure that their feeding or their nutritional base is much more enlightened. We have a lot of junks around, so many fast food joints, so many things. People are busy, work and all that. They don't have time to prepare. So by you telling me that adding value to my client is just knocks me off, because this is just what I really, really want. This is what this business is all about, adding value. And by adding value, I found out that they will come back. Hello, can you hear me, ma?
Mm-hmm. I can hear you.
Yes.
You're making
Yes.
sense.
Yeah, adding value is one important thing, because while in school, those days when you go to your friend's place, you just find out that when I go on holidays to my aunties or any of my relations, once I enter the kitchen, I don't even need to, I just ask, where can I help? Where can I help? Where can I assist? So I grew up with that mindset, and by getting a business established in that aspect is so easy to me. And by saying adding value, it just makes me understand why I do the things I do, and it keeps driving me. Another point you made mention of was excellence. and that we should try as much as we can to make sure that you don't go after free things. It is very, very important because sometimes you see some paid classes and you really want to join the class or the program, but you cannot afford it. But you've given me a leverage by saying that I can look for a way to negotiate and find where I can add value to that particular place. Maybe offering for a service or volunteering for something. I never ever thought of that aspect before. But now it's going to be on my mind and I'm going to work towards that also. Thank you. Hello. Hello. Hello.
That's very good. For me, I think one area that I used to do it then, this was as far back as 2016, 2017. There's this group then that was very popular. Um, um, I was a bit into affiliate. Hello, I can hear you. You're audible. During that period, I think I was a bit into affiliate marketing, and I was also doing a bit of social media marketing. It's Clara, we can hear you. Let me mute you. I think you may just you can for volunteers. If they have an upcoming event, I take their flyers and I share. I also ask what are the things that you need. It could be that when they have a training session, can you help in the chat section to engage people, to answer questions and to pick up questions, right? And the truth support even people that we look up to. I'll always tell you, I'll always tell anyone who is seeking to grow in any industry, in a career path, when you find yourself in an industry, see that you aspire to and reach out to them. Idea that it's just one person that I like is not true, right? Areas. You may not see somebody that is entirely doing well as a whole, but in an aspect that they love, go ahead to that person and learn. Or reach out and say, I would love to learn from you. How can I do that? Course on LinkedIn optimization. Now, as much as I might be a specialist when it comes to corporate digital marketing and all that, I know that LinkedIn to a degree, when I look at how years ago to today, it's not the same, even though the revenue that was generated last year came from the links that I got from LinkedIn. I know that I could do more, right? And for me, we see all those huge numbers because for me, that is not increase in numbers, right? So for me, what I'm trying to say is that you need to figure out exactly what growth means to you as a business. You need to really figure out what does growth mean for you as an individual, right? And when you find that out, hold on, so sorry. And when you find that out, you can then decide, okay, how do I want to engage this? What do I need to do to engage this? Do you understand? At the end of the day, all of these things, what it will result into is that you are taking the appropriate step to take you to that point that you need to get to. And it means that you also begin getting to these places with the support of somebody holding you by the hands. And that is one important thing that I want us to take away from here. So the last person, I think that was Isaac, that had his mic unmuted. Does my Isaac still want to say something, or can we go on? Piafi.
No, no.
Hi, Mr. Heiser.
I mean,
Yeah, we can hear you. Go on, please.
I don't have anything to say, please,
All right. So that's
because
fine.
I joined in late. I joined in late.
All right, no problem. That's fine. So we'll be going to the topic of discussion today, setting targets and paid promotion. Before a number of us joined, one thing I said is that we're not talking about vision casting, because if you want resources around that, there are a lot of them online. And from time to time, when I see events that is centered around that, I will share with us in the community, or if somebody from the team will do that. So what we want to talk about today is setting targets relating to sales, right? Talking about business targets, right? I'm not just talking about vision casting for you as an individual. At the end of the day, what I seek to achieve is that you get enough empowerment, right, that would equip you with the essential knowledge and tools that you need to set powerful business targets, and also understand how do you enter into the terrain of paid promotion for maximum impact. You're going to learn how to define clear goals, develop actionable strategies, and utilize paid advertising platforms effectively to reach your target audience and grow your SME. So basically, into the topic of discussion, what does it mean to set targets? We are all business persons here. I would love one person to help us out. What does it mean to set targets? Because I didn't even decide, I didn't even do anything about defining. Because many of us here have been in business for the past 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. And I want to believe that we understand what it means to set targets. So when we talk about setting targets, can Ms. Justina help us? What does it mean to set targets as a business person? I want you to come from the viewpoint of a business person, of an entrepreneur. So what does it mean to set targets? If you would indulge me.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good morning.
Okay, good morning. Okay, so from my perspective, as a business person, setting targets is all about laying out actionable steps that will help you achieve your goals. Basically, just laying out actionable steps that helps you achieve your goals. So it's about okay, seeing. So to an extent, we cannot see the whole of the future, but you can project things that you would like to achieve at certain time frames. You give yourself time frames to be able to achieve them, even if you are not going to achieve them at that time, but you know that you are working towards achieving those targets. Yes, so that's it.
Thank you very, very much. So if I may ask, would you say that there's a difference between setting a target and rolling out strategy? Is there a difference?
Yes, for me, there's a difference.
Okay.
So
what do you think? Okay, what do you think is the difference?
Okay, now you set. Let me just give an example. You want to maybe by the end of the year you want to have earned probably 1 billion naira. You set out, okay, this is what I want to achieve. That is now setting a target. I want to achieve this. Now, how to now achieve it is now a different ball game. So you now set out, okay, what am I going to do to achieve that target that I have set for myself? So those are now the actionable steps. Then it's not even about now setting those actionable steps. There is now difference between you now doing those things which you have now set for yourself to be able to do. So yes, that's what I think.
Yeah. So to further build on what she said, right? Your target is what you are aiming towards. Your strategy is what you map out that will take you to that target. Now, one thing you also need to understand is that in your strategy are also targets that build up, right? And sometimes these targets that are broken down within different phases of milestones that you have set for yourself, right? Milestones in your within your strategy are what equates or are what we would say are equals to targets. Does it make any sense? What I said now,
Yes,
does
you
it
do.
make any sense?
Yes.
Right. Aside from Justina, who else understood what I just said right now? That inside of your strategy are milestones, and these milestones are targets. Does it make any sense to you? Let me know in the chat section. So you don't need to unmute. Okay, thank you very much. So when you're talking about milestones, as a business person, what you're saying is that there are critical things that you want to see at certain points in the rolling out of the strategies that you have set up to help you achieve whatever it is that you have given to yourself as a target. There are critical things that you want to see at critical points or at critical times or at critical days or at critical moments, right? And these things, once you achieve them, you tick them off and it becomes an accomplishment, which you would say it becomes a target achieved. Do you understand? So it's not just about setting strategy. It's not just about putting something before you as this is what I want to achieve. It's also about breaking this strategy into bits, right? Which the activities that you do within those bit by bit milestones or bit by bit targets is what we call tactics, right? So inside of that big ecosystem called strategy are chopped milestones. And what you do within those several milestones are tactics. Strings of tactics makes an entire strategy. Let me see if I can annotate on my screen and show us what I'm talking about. Let me see. Just hope it doesn't take too much of my time. I don't know why I can't see that option here. All right. Why that is, I'll try to figure that out later. So what I'm saying is this. Let me use a real life example. A man has a decision and he has a purpose in his heart. I want to get married by December 2024. That is his target. My strategy is that I need to be more out there. I need to involve myself in more communities. I need to bring myself to places where I can engage more with ladies. That is the strategy. Of every 3 months, I would evaluate and see if my bank or the number of ladies that I have engaged or that are now in my contacts, I want to ensure that I have at least five ladies at the end of every 3 months. I know it's not a Casanova, it's just a plan. But some people want to get married, they engage themselves in such kind of engagement, right? At least I've met some people that are very tactical like that in their minds. So, but whatever I'm saying right now, I'm just coming up with a fiction so that you can understand what I'm saying. So they say that I'll chop it into three months. Each 3 months, I want to have five ladies. These are milestones. These are miniature or mini milestones or targets that they've given to themselves. Then they'll now tell themselves, okay, how do I achieve these these five ladies as new contacts every 3 months? Okay, I need to do some practical activities that I must ensure that every week or every 2 weeks in a month, I must ensure that I go to a party. Every Sunday, I must go to new churches, or if my church has 5 branches, I would ensure that every Sunday I go to these branches, right, and meet new people. If God now helps me, whenever they say a newcomer should stand up, I stand up. Maybe there will be a sister. Micah said, "Thank you for the answer. You're not serious. I'm not giving you same man on a mission." But then you get the idea, right? Right. So the thing is, he understands the assignments. He knows he has a mission. Comment section. But then the idea is that you understand the assignments and you know the things that you need to do and you break it down. So I like the fact that you can relate it. I did not tell you people to pen down any notes. Nobody should use my tactics. It remains everything that we talk about in this class stays in this class. Do you understand me? You must not go out of this class. No man must use this strategy. It's strictly my own. Do you understand me? So now that's what I mean. Strings of tactics makes up a strategy. And if as a business person you can understand it like that, you realize that it makes your work very streamlined. Because one of the peculiarity of SMEs, of startups, whatever it is that you have, one of the characteristics is that you are agile. And when you are agile, it means that you are very swift on your feet. You are very light. When a person brings a work to you, processes for implementation does not need to go through so many people that can establish business. It is easy for you to quickly deliver, to quickly implement. So it means that when you are setting up processes, when you are setting up strategies, you need to look at how do I ensure that whatever it is that I'm putting in place to help me achieve my targets are broken down into understandable bits, such that even when I am not here and I leave and I give it to somebody to take my place, they can do it and implement it like it's me. These are the things that you should look at. So why should you set up goals, right? It really helps you to be focused, right? It helps you to have a very, very clean cut direction. For example, this guy, he knows what he wants to do. Why am I going to churches? Why am I going to parties? Why do I go to hangouts? Why do I sign up to every community of singles? For example, we know that the TCN all has different kind of communities. There's singles for workers, for working singles. There is community for working singles, rather. There is community for single ladies. Is it single ladies? I know there's community for millennials. There is community for women in business. There is community for singles, right? And Justina can help us with the different communities that they have, right? All of these communities, he knows this. I must register in all these places every time they are going out. But then he will now start asking himself, what do I need to do? What do I need to do that will make it possible that all these things that I have set for myself, what do I need to do to ensure that I achieve it? I need money. Amatola, if you know that you want to be making 10 million every month, you need money. But is it only money that I need? I think I need people. But then what if I have money and I have people? What else do I need? I need these people to understand the assignments. And when they understand the assignments, they will need something to complement their day-to-day running. So they need some resources. And these resources are not limited to funds. So they need technology, like is it LinkedIn? Do they need premium LinkedIn, or can they use the freemium? Do they need the premium Twitter or X account? Do you understand? So everything that you need as a business only stems out based on the target, the strategies, the chopped milestones, and the tactics that you have set for yourself. Does it make sense? So you don't just come up, right? You don't just come up with an idea about what you need in your business simply because you are looking at a business that is doing something similar as you are. And you think that what they need is exactly what you need. Sometimes it might be like that, but at other times, it's not always the case. The most important thing that informs what you need in your business as resource allocation, right? As capital, as funds, as technology, or as software, whatever it is that you call it, often stems out of your understanding of where you are going and how you want to get to where you're going. So when you set up goals or when you set targets for yourself within your business, what you're doing is that you're helping yourself to give you direction and motivate you. Because when you see yourself achieving all these mini milestones, right? Every month, the guy looks at it. Every 3 months, okay, now I have 5. In the second 3 months, I have just 3. Okay, since I got 5 in the first month, I have 3. I think I can do better in the third month. So those things gives you motivation to see that, oh, I am approaching my target, right? I'm approaching it. So then he will now begin to ask himself, am I just getting any type of lady? Should she be slim and tall and light, or should she be fairly dark, maybe a bit on the round side, like a pear, right? He would then begin to make research on the different type of statures of ladies. He begin to acquaint himself with the different type of qualities of ladies, and based on the ones that appeals to him, based on the one that he feels would get him closer to his goals, then he begins to tick it and pen it down. I think I will do well with a slim girl. I think if she's on the plump side with enough dress, to have her to, oh, this is what the Bible said. Okay, maybe I will have some kind of that, right? So basically, every decision, every resources that he gets, every friendship, every relationship, every conversation around such thing that has to do with his targets are informed by where he's going to and how he intends to get. So in retrospect, when you do like reverse engineer for business, when you talk about your direction, when you talk about your motivation, when you talk about your resources, when you talk about allocation of your resources, when you talk about all of these things, what holds it as anchor is the business target that you have given to yourself. So it means that you need to ensure that these targets are clear. And it goes back to the first thing that I talked about. You can listen to it again when we make the recording available on YouTube, right? Because the thing is, when you set clear targets, it gives you a sense of purpose. And it allows your business to align all the efforts, right? You know, I don't know if you play, I've forgotten what you call this thing that children used to play, where Legos, yeah? You have Legos and they tell you you have to put everything together to build a house. Now, it makes no sense that you are just joining colors and shapes together and it's not even giving you something that looks like the image of the car that you're trying to form out of these Legos. You are trying to put Legos together. Legos are those small shapes. I don't know if this thing for us while we were young. Let me see if I can get it. So I don't assume that. Let me see, Lego. Is it Lego or Lego? I don't even know. All right. So let me see. Let me show us what I'm talking about. When I talk about all right. Please, can you see? Can you see my screen, please? Let me know. Please let somebody um uh unmute themselves. What can you see on my screen?
I'm still seeing the previous screen.
Anybody there? Are
Okay, now.
we there?
Yeah, I can see your screen. Yeah, I can see the Google search image. Yeah.
Hello? Can you see my screen? Can anyone still hear me? Or am I speaking to myself? Oh, the previous screen. Oh, okay. Now, what I want to show you are Lego. All right. So you can see, yeah, thank you. So you see these things now, right? These things are called Legos, right? And people or children, mostly for child that plays with this. So what happens is this thing, you see all this circle that you see here, they are to help it to make it easy for you to fix. So sometimes the way they frame the Lego, so you see this one is in square, it's going to come in square shape, right? And there are some that they come in different shapes. Like you can see, this one has rounded, a curved edge and all that. Create a shape like it looks like, which is your target. And you take small effort. You're putting things together, and it look like the outcome that I'm supposed to make by putting this thing together. It may trying to talk about when we're saying setting target that is clear. When you set a clear target, it provides you with a sense of purpose. It allows to align your efforts with the resources available, leading to improved performance. Because the truth is, whatever you are getting is the outcome of all the efforts that you are putting in place. Is there's no village people doing you anywhere. It only means that what you are doing as effort, this is what it has the capacity to ask for yourself. Will I evaluate uncle, that friend, 5 lady friends every February, March? By March ending, I need to evaluate the ladies that I have. Do I have 5 ladies? Do they align with the type of ladies that I want? Right. Because it can't just end up going through the year just without having a clear purpose. Because at the end of the day, what you will get to be a community of single ladies. Maybe he just wants to be a product of a to their needs, not to get married. Because at that point, he would get derailed with his target. It would get derailed when it comes to his vision. It gets derailed when it comes to purpose, because whatever sense that he will begin to feel, or whatever it is that he will begin to do anti what he should be doing to get into his activity. One thing we need to understand is effort would always result into something. But whatever effort that you are putting into your business should result into what the target that you have. Successful businesses align their targets with their long-term goal. Like I said about that brother, his long-term goal is to get married by December 2024. Ensure that every effort contributes to the overall mission, rather. Do you understand? So there is vision and there is mission. Mission is how I will get to where I see myself, and the things that I will do that I will be known for when I am doing them. Does it make sense? Please, what I said right now, does it make sense? You see yourself. Your mission are the things that you do, the effort that you make as you get to that place, and the things that you will be known for by the reason of the effort and the things that you're doing, the place of your overall target. And this further brings me to setting SMART goals. Now, you understand why I'm saying all these things by the time we get to the next two slides. Like I said, target that I'm talking about is not vision. It's not vision to be the best or the number one health and wellness service provider in Ondo State, or to be the number one eco in Africa, providing them with health information and access to healthy living information, resources, whatever, blah, 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 get that impacts on sales, business growth. That is where we are going to. Now, there's something that is called SMART. Can somebody, like I said, we are business persons and we've been in business for as far as I can say. Miss Fumi Adewumi, can you hear me, please? I love to have our participants engaged because I believe that sometimes when we hear things from someone else, it has a way of really giving us fresh perspective. Can you hear me, Fumi? If Fumi is not here, I don't want to call people that are spoken. Bola Tito, can you hear me? Hear me, Bola Tito, either of them, can they hear me? All right, who else is here? Let me see. All right, Michael, can you hear me?
Sure, I can hear you.
Hello, am I speaking to myself? Can Michael hear me? Hear me? Okay, so I will last screen on SMART goal setting. And is it very legible? If you're speaking, I can't hear you. Okay, I want you to, I can see your chat. So what I actually want you to do, what I actually want you to do is to just give us a quick overview. What you want this speaks to you about SMART goal setting. We have SMART. Can you do that? And take the stage. I'll just do that for almost 2 to 3 minutes. Speak to that screen. You're muted, Michael. I can only see your chat. I need you to talk to it. I don't know if anyone can hear me.
Okay. Can you hear me? Am I the only one, or it's my network? Or hello? Can anybody hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Actually, I've been struggling.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So you want me to speak to the SMART goal setting, right?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, so generally, let me relate it. Can I relate it to my business or just generally speaking?
So, by all means, do that. I think I would want you to do that actually. Relate it to your business.
Okay, 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 okay. So, setting smart goals, like you said earlier on, is very, very important because it helps you to align, with the company overall mission and strategy. So let me start with, being specific, clearly define what you want to achieve. And think this is very, very key for us, being the fact that we're in a better state. So last year, December, so we said clearly what we want to achieve with our better state. That is, we want to test our platform, the usability, the user experience, and also we want to achieve one of our key important go-to-market strategy, which is SEO and social media. We want to ensure that we are able to rank, properly. So what do we have to do? So we set specific targets as regard how we want to rank. I want to compete with other people that are ranking because even though we're going to be using paid ads in the future, it's going to be like supplementary. The most effective and probably sustainable way is to use SEO. So one of our targets, one of our specific goal for the beta testing is to ensure that one way or the other, we try our best to compete very well in the keywords which we are ranked for and rank properly. So we set that target. We set some metrics like, oh, this is the number of visits we are looking for, this is the number of impression, and also this is how we want to rank. And after the first 3 weeks, we measure that. And even though we didn't get to achieve it 100%, but the good thing is that there was a momentum. And if we had not set that specific target, it would be very, very hard for us to measure it. So that to be measurable. So the moment you have a specific goal cleared out, it's very, very easy to achieve the next part of the SMART, which is measurable, because you already say you want to achieve 1,000, maybe 1,000 visits or 10,000 visits. Now, for you to, after several times or activities, you can now go back and say, okay, where are we in this goal? Okay, we are not able to achieve this. What are the key drivers? So why are we not doing well? So they are measurable, they're very, very important. Then attainable, you have to set it realistically. So I can easily say beta test, which is 6 weeks, want to achieve 1 million monthly visits. So it's not like I'm trying to undermine myself, but it's almost not achievable. Having 1 million a monthly visit, knowing the fact that the brand is a new brand, you've not gotten that virality, or probably you don't have access to influencers that can help you achieve that. So say you want to achieve 1 million impression and visit to your website in the first 3 weeks or 4 weeks, is almost impossible. So you have to ensure that aside from it being specific or measurable, it has to be attainable, something that's attainable. So you don't just put something outside there that get to frustrate you, and at the same time too, it will not allow you to properly allocate resources when your goal is not attainable. That is not realistic. The other part is relevant, align go with your business need. So it cannot just be something out of the thin air, because people are setting out goal and you just decide to wake up one day and you want to do your own thing too. Like I said earlier on, the company mission, we have a vision, and our mission has been designed how we want to get to where we are going to. So our goal, we set it in such a way that it is in line with what we want to achieve on the long run. So it's not just standing alone. We can take inspiration from people, take cue from businesses around us, but we still have to adapt it to our own context, where we are at the moment, what we are going to, and the unique features about us. So it has to be relevant to what we set out to do. Then time bound, like I said, when we started the beta test, we said that 6 weeks. This beta test is going to last for 6 weeks, and after that, we're going to roll fully, and we are going to review other things. Yeah, I believe I've been able to relate this to what we do. Thank you.
Plus, let me see, where's mine? I don't know where I don't know where it is. But I'm giving you a round of applause, and they are giving you a round of applause too. So that's very, very profound. I love the fact that you related it to your business, and it's very, very impressive. Because, like we said, the idea is, where am I going to, whatever it is that I'm doing fits into that. I don't think I want to add to that because he has simply taken it right out of my mouth. So what are the different types of targets that we have when it comes to your business, right? So if you look at what we have here, there are sales targets, there are growth targets, there are financial targets, there is also operational targets. So when you're talking about sales targets, you're talking about revenue, right? Revenue growth. How much do we want to make at the end of the year? We'll now break it into quarter. How much do we want to make? If we already know what we are making in, okay, so no, I won't do this because we are still going into breakout rooms. On all of these things I'm saying, we can then do that assignment. I'm going to break us into 2 breakout sessions, and we can do that by ourselves. But this time we're going to be doing it with our own business to lead it. But you take a book and a paper and then you do it for yourself. So you say that in year 2024, I want to make 144 million at the end of the year by December 31st. So that is our annual, or that is the year targets for us. So how do we look at this and how will it be achievable for us? It means that for everything that we will be doing each month, we need to know what we need to be working towards every month. And that means that we also need to know what we are going to be achieving. Sorry, if we know what we are doing for the year, we need to know what we are doing for half of each year, of the half of the year. So in the first half of the year and the second half of the year, what does that mean? Within the year also, we need to break it down into quarter. That is every 3 months. What does that mean? Once we know that, so what does this mean for every month? That's how you do it. So you have 1 year plan, you have half year plan, so 12-month plan, 6 years, 6 months, 6 months plan. Then you have 3 month plan, and then you have monthly plan. Now, remember, I did not say all of your tactics. I did not say strategy. I said target. So if your target for 1 year, which is 2024, right, is 144, right? That is for 12 months, 1 year. For half of the year, it means in 6 months, it will be 144 divided by what? Let me see if we have mathematics people here. So if in a year, right, what we want to achieve is 144 in 12 months, what will you make in 6 months? Or what do you need to make in 6 months? Do we have mathematicians here? Do we have business owners here? You should be ready. You should know my class by now. You know that you will not be here, you just be listening to me. All of us are doing this class together. All right, we are business person. Let's say that your plan is that you intend to achieve 144, right? So let me see, 72, right? So let me see. So your plan is that in 2024, which is 12 months, you want to make 144. So that means you're dividing it by 2. Thank you very much, Clara. Right? We are dividing it by 2, like breaking it down into every 3 months. So what does that mean? It means that you pick up your 72 million and you divide it by what again? You divide it by 2, right? So it means that in 3 months, you need to make 36 million. Thank you very much. Do you understand? And then you break it down into monthly, right? So you have your 36 million and you divide it by what? Let me see. What do you divide it by to get each target for each month? Let me see if you have smart business owners here. If you have 36 million for 3 months, how much do you need to make? Thank you very, very much. 12 million. Yeah, I can see it. So it means that in each month, you need to achieve 12. I think I have plenty business people here. Very good. The kind of thing I like to see. So do you understand? These are ways that you break down your sales or your revenue targets. Do you understand? Your sales target covers your revenue growth, and it also covers your customer acquisition. So once you've told yourself that, okay, we need to make 44 in the year, we need to make 72 in the quarter, right? And we need to make 30, we need to make 72 in the 6 months. We need to make 36 in a quarter, and we need to make 12 million in monthly growth. So how many products do we need to sell, or how many of our service do we need? How many products do we need to sell? How many units of each product do we need to sell, rather, right? If it is service, are we going to be releasing out just one service, or are we going to be releasing new service? Are we going to be releasing our old product, or are we going to be releasing new products? When you know how many products you need to sell, that is what we then inform, should we roll new products, or should we roll out just our old product? Then you need to then understand, how many customers do I need to achieve this number of products that I need to sell? Then you need to then determine, what price will I put this product? So once you understand the product you want to sell, you need to understand the pricing. Then you understand, how many clients do I need to be able to achieve these sales. Once you get that, break it down into your annual, your average, your medium, your half year, your quarter, your monthly, you're broken down into monthly, quarterly breakdown, and then you have monthly breakdown. Once you understand how many clients you need in each of these measurements, it gives you an idea of what you need to do. Does it make sense, please? Well, does it make any sense to us? Let me see our response. All right, thank you very, very much. Right, so that's what you do. So when it comes to growth targets, you're talking about market share expansion, right? So let's say for somebody who used to sell just within the mainland, you just used to sell within the mainland, and of all the people that are selling your type of products in the mainland, right, you only have coverage for people in Ifako-Ijaiye. That is the percentage of the entire market that you have access to. Your targets for growth can be that you want to acquire more local governments within Lagos State on the mainland. And B, that you want to acquire more customer base. Do you understand? Not just restricted to the mainland, but maybe you also want to do more business with people on the highland, right? Is it that you need to come out of the island, of the mainland into the island, right? Or do you just want to stay only within the mainland? Will you need to begin to target premium clients, or do you just focus on your mass market? What I often tell people is, never should you as a business owner think that targeting mass markets is an inferior activity to do. There's nothing inferior about it. There's nothing inferior about your product if your target market is the mass market. Because the truth is, at the end of the day, what keeps you running as a business is that sales is being done, is that value is being driven, value is also being created. Do you understand? Impacts are being made, influences in the positive way are also being achieved. So whatever market it is that you want to sell to, it's what will determine what your efforts will be directed towards. We also want to look at brand new brand awareness when it comes to growth, right? In a way, there's a way that growth and sales are tied together, but then the clear distinction is that with sales are numbers that result into cash, but with growth is more of visibility, it's more of reach, it's more of a way that you want to be seen, that is more of engaging in activities that build on or that establish or strengthen your brand visibility, or your brand that also intensifies on your brand recognition in the markets that you sell. So when you're talking about growth awareness, you're talking about new products launch. Do you understand? Once you know how much you need to make in the month, it will inform should you create a new product or should you just sell the ones that you have? And then you have financial targets. Your financial target covers your profitability. It covers how many things, what did we make last year, right? And what did we give ourselves as targets for this year? Looking at what we have given ourselves as targets for this year, did it amount to any profit? What is the profit margin? So you told yourself that in this year, you're going to be making 144 million. Before you set that target, did you check what you made last year? If you did, then it means that the only way that you can know if you'll be making profit is if last year, maybe what you made was 100 million, and you decided to say, okay, let's make it 144 million. There's something that must have informed that idea in your mind, or whatever it is that informs you to believe that it is possible to achieve 44 million extra. Whatever it is that result of what you saw last year. So you do not just come up with numbers. So if towards last year, you realize that towards a particular season in last year, you made ×3 of what you would normally make in a month, maybe due to a particular season, it could give you an idea that you could duplicate that kind of engagement next year. Look at what percentage was contributed within that season, then add that percentage and double it to what you would make in the following year. This is what I mean. You made 100 million last year. If between September, October, November, December, 4 months, you realize that out of that, one of your sales came from that period of time. So what you wait, so you add an extra 30% to make it 60%, right? So the following year, so it means that when you double it, it will become 120 million. So you had 120 million to the new target that you want to give yourself. So for me, every year, by default, we increase our target by 15%. And then we add an extra from the years that we realize that from the period in a year that we realize that we did so much due to a particular experience or trend that we see that is a recurring event. So what we do is that, so like I was explaining, if my last year was 100 million, right? So by 15%, I know that 10% of 100 million is already around, let me see, maybe around 100,000. Let me see, 100 million divided by, multiplied by 10, divided by 100, right? That is, no, yeah, that's, sorry, I said 100 million. That is 10 million, right? So it means that my next year target, I'll have to add an extra 10 million. So it means that it will be 110 million plus, you know, I said that 30% contributed to my percentage of those year of those months or experiences or events in the last year that cost million. I'm going to double it. So it means that what I would have is 120 million. So what plus 10 million plus 120 million. So what you would have as our target for the next year would be 230 million. So that's how that's a suggestion that it's not a cast in stone, but that is what I do. And it makes it easy for me to also break down into tiny bits, into months. So I know, so what this does for me as a business, and this is also what I teach the businesses that I consult with. What this does for us is that it makes it easy for us to replicate results, because number one, we already know what is possible, because whatever it is that we are creating is an offshoot of what we made last year, right? And it also makes it easy for us to break down into allocations for each month. Do you understand? And it also makes it easy for us to predict engagement or events or seasonal activities that might happen. Now, in the session that I'll be having with our business workshop session that is coming up in our premium client community, I'll actually be talking on pricing strategy and price adjusting, right? How does that impact on your setting of your sales target or your growth target for your business? But I won't be going into that in this class. You can read about it. Price setting and price adjustment, because it would impact on the targets that you're setting for yourself as a business. So once you understand that, okay, this is what I want to do for the year, then it gives you an idea of what you need to give as a target with regards sales targets, revenue targets, growth targets, and it also helps you to be able to determine your profits, right, each of the months. Once you're able to do this, because now you know which month in the year will give you more revenue, and you're not a cast in stone. This is not to say that this may not change depending on what might happen in the business ecosystem, because we know that a lot of things can happen, right? But then this is just a roadmap that guides your activity. In the situation where nothing happens, at least you know what to do. But then even if at all anything happens, whatever it is that might be impacted, I am very certain may just be that 30% that you added to your target for the year, and not necessarily a better chunk or a chunk of your times. So it's a wise way to set up your sales target in the year as we go. Your setting of targets with regards sales gives you an idea of what your profit margin from the previous year looks like. It also helps you to look at effort that you need to put in place. It helps you to know what are the activities that you may want to do and what are the activities that any efforts or any results last year. So financial target also gives you an idea of cost reduction. Are you going to that whatever it took you to produce a product last economical way? I didn't say cheap. A multi is still retained, but it's just more affordable. Maybe you may need to buy in large quantity, or maybe you may need to go into collaboration with other sellers and then you buy in bulk. We used to do that as an individual. You import a good as buy a full container of sunk. So the essence of all that you are into education. Do I just do a collaboration with a team? So all these things begin to inform how you want. It determines the different type of formula and target has to do with processes, action. You should also have target for yourself. Buy one more star. If you look 3 stars, oh God, what I just want to do. So as that is, it can impact on your feedback as a marketing material to impacting on your clients, and they are giving you feedback for it. Such kind of progress that is recorded, such kind of progress that is used as a marketing material can impact on your sales. It can also impact on the way that businesses or the business ecosystem or your target market views you. Do you understand? Also, when it comes to operational targets, process efficiency, once you understand what your sales target is, you understand what your growth target is, and you understand what that financial target is. Process efficiency has to do with, okay, since I know that we need to produce a new line of products, different from what we did last year, do I need more hands? Should I employ more people? What type of people should I employ? Should I employ contract staff that I pay every time they work? Or should I employ people that are going to be on a part-time? I only call them in every weekend. So what you need will be informed by that. You may even want to ask yourself, do we need to buy new machine? Or should we look for somebody in the industry that can lease out their machine to us for us to use? Instead of buying a shop, can I look for someone let out their shop for us? Do you understand? These are the things that you might want to consider. Do you understand? These are the things that you might want to consider, because the idea is to bring, oh God, so sorry. The idea is to bring your business to that point where you are leveraging on resources that you need to leverage on without breaking the bank. The things that we are looking for, we usually feel that it has to be us. Everything has to be you. If it is not you that is producing it, if the resources is not coming from you, if you are not the one that is producing it, then you think it's not going to be original, or it's not going to be quality enough, and all of those things. No, that's not true. It's not true. You don't do business that way. You need to be able to leverage on people around you. You need to be able to leverage on the people within your industry that are doing something similar. You need to be able to leverage on other people's time. You need to be able to leverage on all of these things, because at the end of the day, you want to look out for ways where you can minimize costs. And this is the most important thing that every business person must understand. How do we cut costs? Now, I think this brings me to the last section that I want to talk about. What are the tools and techniques for goal setting? So for me, there are different type of tools, right? There are different type of tools, and basically these 3 tools that I have listed here will help you to be able to measure your results. It will also help you to be able to predict. There's something that we call the SWOT analysis, right? The SWOT speaks to your strengths. It helps you to be able to identify your strengths as a business, your weakness as a business, What are the opportunities that are available for you in the market, things that will not allow you to achieve your target? Your strengths are your unique selling points, the thing that makes you different from everybody. Your weakness are the things that makes customers jump to your competitors. Your opportunities are the things that you have seen that people are looking for as their needs, as their wants, and that informs the type of service, it informs the type of product that you create. Do you understand? It is the market that informs all of these things. It's not you. It doesn't matter how beautiful your product is or how beautiful you think your service is. Your understanding of the market is what can really help to truly identify what your strengths, your weaknesses, the opportunities that are there, and also the threats that are available for you. Once you can know all of these things, it becomes easy for you to know how to mitigate against it. How do you capitalize on your strengths? How do you work on your weaknesses? How do you leverage on opportunities? And how do you combat or mitigate against threats or things that will stop you from entering into the market? Is it partnership? Is it collaboration? Is it buying out somebody that is doing something in a small way, but you know that if you buy that business, the person would, you can add the person's line of products and the person's customer to your own to get a significant share of the market. There are different things that you can do, right? And then you have KPI dashboards. Dashboards allow you to be able to monitor your key performance indicators to measure success. So let's take it back to that guide I needed to make new relationships so that I can achieve his target at the end of December, which is marrying a lady. So his key performance indicators will be that how many events did I attend in the month? How many church did I attend in the month? How many ladies did I meet? How many of these ladies that I met eventually gave me their contact? How many of these ladies that gave me their contact did I eventually talk to and agreed to go out on a meeting or an outing with me? How many of these ladies that I went out on an outing with did I feel connected to? And did I eventually feel like I can really find some sort of meaning with regards a serious relationship, or can I date them? Can I really get married to this person? This will be the key indicators for this person. Do you understand? So for your business, it might be, okay, if in every 3 months, what we said is that we must at least have 15 clients every 3 months. So that means that in each month, we must have 5 clients. So our key performance indicators might be that, okay, to achieve this, it means that we need to organize events, and we need to also do this event. Is it indoor or outdoor events? Is it virtual or offline events? Are we going to do any sponsorship, or are we going to do any collaborative efforts in the month? And are we going to do any paid promotion, right? Where are we going to do that paid promotion, right? And what social media channel are we using? And how many posts are we going to be creating every month, broken down into every week, broken down into every day, right? So you then pick out all the things that you have listed now, and you list them in a column on your Excel sheet. The easiest one, get an Excel sheet and list them down. It will show you key metrics, it will show you key activities, it will show you results. So your key metrics are events, collaboration, paid promotion, content creation, and social media posts. Do you understand? And then your activity will be virtual events targeted towards B2B. Your paid promotion will be promote on Instagram and Facebook three times in a week, every 2 weeks in a month, right? And you list it like that, and then your result will be that the result will be, did you do it? Whatever it is that you did, and the result that you achieved will be your result. So in your result, it will be all activity done. We got 5 clients, and out of these 5 clients, and we got 5 leads. Out of these 5 leads, 2 sales, right? At the end of the day, you have a column under that then shows you how many leads did you have? Out of these leads, how many inquiries and how many actual clients, right? At the end of the day, what you would have is that you have the number of people that you got, right? You feed into your sales targets, right? That shows you if we are going to be making 12 million every month. And it shows us that we need to have at least 50 people as clients. So that means that let's just double it. It means that we need to speak at least to 5 to 100 people, so that out of these 100 people, at least 50% of them will convert into sales. So that's why you need them broken down in such manner. So you need to track every single activity. It's as simple as I said it right now, right? You can always listen to the recording later on YouTube. So the thing is, whatever it is that you're doing, it needs to be tied to numbers. That's what I tell people. It's the easiest way for you. Tie it to numbers. Can you still hear me? Somebody said my audio is breaking up. Can you still hear me? Can you hear me now? Or is it still breaking? Hello, hello.
Yes, ma, I can hear you.
Okay. So everything that you are doing, whether it is events, whether it is promotion, whether it is social media posts, tie it to numbers. Tie it to numbers. Because if you don't do that, what will happen is that it will be difficult for you to track what you are doing. It will be difficult for you to align it with your overall target. And you will end up doing a lot. For me, because I have a lot of things to do, both on the B2C, the B2B arm, both on my personal development, even in my personal life, I need to be able to put numbers to it. So my own activity always involve, okay, Omotola, personally, how many posts do you need to make every week? A minimum of 3 posts every week. And the most important platform for me is LinkedIn and Instagram. Every other platform, I don't care, right? My post must go out at least minimum of 2 posts a day, right? And before, I used to include where are the places that I must distribute it. So right now, I think places that I must distribute my content has drastically reduced based on the results that I've checked to see which of these channels gives me the type of result that I wanted, right? So this influenced me. So I also tell myself, how many events do I want to have in the month? Minimum of 2 events in the month. So any other thing that is coming outside of that, I'm not doing. Do I have to do trainings every month? No. So every quarter, we have at least a minimum of 1 training. Okay. So for me, it tied it out. Training, 1, events, 2, posts, 2, social media platform, 2. These things are tied to numbers. So it really makes it easy for me to analyze and to also structure out. For example, I created an analysis and I gave a report of my newsletter performance last year. And it was very easy for me to track the location, to track the level of people that are on the community, to track how many subscribers we get every week, because I had a target of the specific people that I was going to be focusing. And it made it easy for me to decide the type of topic that I would be rolling out every week to attract those type of people, and consistently for 12 months. Because I was monitoring it every week, the people that we were targeting were consistent like that for every month. The only difference may be in the percentage as they are shuffling. Do you understand? So it is very, very easy for you to work if you understand what you are doing and you tie it to numbers. The last thing I want to say is OKRs, like objectives and key results, right? How do you want to track your objectives and your key results? It's one thing for you to have your KPIs. You also need to have OKRs, right? OKRs will help you to match every activity that you are doing to specific objectives, right? And every activity that you are monitoring under your KPI would feed into a specific result. Once you are able to do that, then you have an holistic view. You just become a god. for your business, because everything becomes so clear and so very, very blaring. So like I said, we'll be having one class every week. So pretty much we'll finish this up next week again, hopefully on a Friday. I would want to close this session because we have another session by 12 o'clock. From anyone. So let's go to the class. Do we have any questions? To be candid, I really run in our conversation. Wrap it up and believe that everything that was said was quite understood. I don't want to. So we have the next 15 minutes before I close the room, and then we can go back to the group and have more up close conversation. I want to believe there's no question, right? Am I right? 5, 4.